One place many people think about having bacteria in and on their body is on their skin. In fact, there are lots of different types of bacteria in and on your skin. Most of them are streptococci and staphylococci. In fact, though many people consider the skin to be an area of the body where you'll find microbes, compared to other areas of the body, there are a few microbes there. And these microbes are what vary the most from person to person. In fact, these are the ones that can be used as a fingerprint. That's because many people differ in the type of microbes they encounter throughout their lifetime. So depending on your occupation, the clothes you wear, and your hygiene levels, this can change the landscape of the skin very differently. The normal resident microflora that resides in and on your skin typically are found on the dead cell layers on the surface of your skin. They eat dead skin cells and are thus considered to be commensals because they're not helping you in any way, but they're not harming you either. These microbes only extend into the dermal layer in the areas of follicles and glands. Microbes can live in hair follicles, and they can also live in sweat glands. And in fact, they prefer to because they're protected there and there's more moisture there. However, when you sweat, you are removing the microbes from those sweat glands. Also, when you shed hair, which I'm sure you know you do from your head and your scalp, but you also do this with all the hair around your body, then the microbes that are attached to the hair follicle will also be cleaned out from your skin. This is partly a defense mechanism from the host, you, to make sure that the microbes don't live too much and occupy too much space in your body. The areas of your body on your skin where you're likely to have the most numbers of microbes is where the skin meets mucous membranes. And that's areas of your eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and genitalia. That's because these areas have a lot more moisture than the rest of your skin. In fact, oilier areas of your skin are going to have more microbes than drier areas of your skin. Compared to the skin, though, where you're going to find the most number of microbes is the GI tract, gastrointestinal tract, or digestive tract. Here we have a lot of Bacteroides and Firmicutes, two different genera that are commonly found in healthy intestines. These are internal regions of your body that, in a healthy individual, contain quite a lot of bacteria and other microbes. Why can we say that your body in a healthy state has no microbes in it, but we also at the same time say that your GI tract has lots of microbes in it? The reason is because if you talk to an anatomist, a lot of them will consider the GI tract just a tube that goes through your body. You have organs in your body, like your heart and your liver and your kidneys, and those are considered to be inside your body. But anything that's passing through your digestive tract, say if it's found in the stomach or in the intestines, is held inside this tube and is not technically in your body cavity. Only if it passes through the intestines will it be considered inside your body cavity. So when we look at the digestive system, there really are only two main areas where you're going to find lots of resident microflora. And that is in the oral cavity, otherwise known as the mouth, and the large intestine, but not the small intestine. Those two areas are highlighted here in this picture that you see. The reason why you have lots of microbes in your mouth is for a couple of different reasons. One, your mouth is constantly exposed to the air and food that you eat, and so you're constantly taking in many microbes through your mouth. Even after you brush your teeth, as soon as you close your mouth and it's covered with saliva, you're going to have microbes on your teeth again. Your mouth, in fact, has the most diverse, different types of microbes compared to any other area of your body. And that's because there's so many different environments that the microbes can grow on in your mouth. You have teeth, tongue, gums, cheeks, and all these different areas can house lots of different types of microbes. These different types of microbes can be helpful in that they can help you digest your food, but you can also have anaerobic microbes, or microbes that don't like oxygen. And that can be harmful to you if you get them in anaerobic spaces, such as in plaque buildup or in corners of your mouth, in your teeth, because they can eventually form cavities. These anaerobic bacteria that can also be dangerous and forming cavities can be equally or maybe more so dangerous in an animal bite or a human bite. And this is why if you do get bit by an animal or a human, you should go to the hospital, and often they'll put you on antibiotics as part of treatment, because those anaerobic bacteria, if they get into your bloodstream, can be deadly. Saliva, in fact, contains an unusually high bacterial count, about 10 to the 9th cells per mil. It's not quite as much as feces, but it's almost as much. It's the second highest concentration of bacteria in your body. Not to worry about all these bacteria growing, you constantly wash them from your mouth into your stomach by producing saliva and swallowing that saliva. Individuals that have dry mouth syndrome that don't produce a typical amount of saliva can end up having a far higher number of microbes living in their mouth and can have side effects of that, such as halitosis or bad breath. When you take the bacteria in your mouth, either in food or in saliva, and swallow it, it goes into the pharynx and then the esophagus. One of the things you may notice from this picture is the esophagus does not have resident microflora. It's not highlighted. And that's because any bacteria that pass through the esophagus are pushed down into the stomach. They're not allowed to live there. They are pushed down into the stomach by smooth muscle contractions, wave-like contractions of muscle in the esophagus called peristalsis. This happens without conscious control. So when you swallow something, you can consciously swallow it and put it into your esophagus, but once it's in there, your esophagus takes over. Those bacteria are then pushed down into the stomach, where I'm sure you know, there's stomach acid. Now, stomach acid can kill some microbes, but generally, it's mostly going to inhibit most microbes, keeping them from growing in the stomach. Again, this is why this region is not highlighted, that there's no resident bacteria growing in your stomach, because they can't grow there. The acid is too strong. Those bacteria are then pushed into your small intestine. Your small intestine has lots of digestive enzymes. And in addition to that, immune system activity to keep microbes from growing in there. Many microbes that have not been killed in the process yet are often killed in the small intestine. Once those microbes are pushed from the small intestine into the large intestine, however, they reach microbe heaven. I refer to it like that because the large intestine is where you'll find a lot of food, perfect temperatures for microbial growth, and in fact, your immune system allows microbes to grow there. Your body is in fact encouraging microbes to grow in your large intestine. So you have a large number of microbes growing in your large intestine. These microbes that are in your large intestine love to eat a lot of the fiber that your body cannot digest in the small intestine. It is feeding these microbes fiber that can provide a lot of lifelong health. And part of the reason why nutritionists and doctors are always encouraging people to eat a lot of fiber. It's to supply and support the microbes in your large intestine and keep your body healthy. In addition, the microbes in your large intestine have, in some scientific studies, the potential to alter your overall body composition. It turns out that people who are obese have different microbes in their large intestine than people who are of an average body weight. And individuals that are of average body weight, if they were to have microbes from the large intestine of an obese individual implanted into their large intestine, can actually cause individuals of average body weight to gain weight. So it could be that part of the reason why some people find it difficult to lose weight is the types of microbes they have in their large intestine. Either they've acquired them through the food that they've eaten or family members could be causing them to gain and maintain their obesity. We do know, however, that the best and healthiest diet for these microbes in your large intestine contains a lot of fiber, specifically from plants. And this is why we find plant-based diets where there's very little meat and a lot of fibrous plants, like leafy green vegetables, to be the healthiest diet for individuals. These types of diets, plant-based diets, increase the diversity of the microbes in your large intestine. While not as diverse as your mouth, by eating a plant-based diet, you can have almost as much diversity in the large intestine, creating a very healthy state that not only keeps transient microflora from growing, preventing you from getting food poisoning many times, but can also help contribute to healthy body weight and also, in some evidence, can keep you feeling happy and reduce your cancer risk. Now, this happiness feeling is also out of a few studies that indicate that people who are clinically pressed for long periods of time have different microbes in their large intestine than people who are not. Not only that, but it's been discovered that the microbes in your large intestine can generate molecules that look like neurotransmitters in your brain. And these molecules can be secreted and picked up and brought to your brain and can actually change neural activity. So if you're craving any types of foods, or if you're feeling happy or sad on any particular day, it might have nothing to do with you. It might actually be your microflora in your intestines talking to you. This is what's referred to as the enteric nervous system, where you have 100 million neurons that line the GI tract, sending and receiving signals from the brain to the intestines and back. And this could possibly not only regulate desires and mood, but could also regulate social behavior, like we talked about in autism and also depression. In addition, they might regulate inflammation in the body and the brain, controlling things like multiple sclerosis or even Alzheimer's disease. There's a lot that we don't know about these bacteria living in your intestines, and a lot that people are still learning about them. But clearly, because there's such a high concentration of microbes there, they do play a significant role in your body. In fact, we're going to keep talking about them in this next section.